Hey there, comic book fans. It's Rusty again with Collector Auctions, and you've got me in the car again, headed down to Third Eye Comics in Annapolis, Maryland for another New Comic Book Day. Now, you guys, if you didn't catch my last New Comic Book Day, I was down in West Virginia for a little vacation, and I ran over to Roanoke, Virginia, where I went to two different comic book shops, Big Lick and B&D, and did some new comic book shopping as well as some back issue shopping, and I hope you guys get a chance to check out that video. But I'm back in Maryland, back home, and I'm heading down like I normally do for New Comic Book Day. Now, just as a reminder, the reason I choose Third Eye Comics as my New Comic Book Day location, my LCS, is because they buy so many extra copies of every book that they get. I mean, they have inches thick of just about every comic that they pick up, and you can definitely pick up extra copies if you want, and they buy so many, they actually get a lot of different ratios as well. So it's a great choice, much more than that I found down in Virginia, where they have a smaller audience, so they don't buy as many books. But at Third Eye, here in Annapolis, they split the area between Baltimore and DC. Big audience, big number of people go to there for New Comic Book Day. There's always really crowded when I walk in. So they're able to buy a lot of books, so your choices are more. So I'm going to head down. There are some really good books today. There were some things that I did not pre-order that were not on my radar, I guess 2 to 3 months ago when I was doing that pre-order, that I want to pick up. There are some books that were definitely on the radar, like the new X-Men book is coming out today. They're relaunching it today. And I've got some copies ordered, but there are some other variants that I may want to pick up as well. There's some other great variants. This is a normal New Comic Book Day for me. A little bit of everything. Go down, pick up books that were not on the radar when I pre-ordered, and books that have variants that I might not have known about, or I just may want to get extra copies of. You never know. But regardless, I will go down, I will shoot some footage, and I will get back home. I'll bag and board all the books, and I will show off everything that I pick up today. So guys, stay tuned, and I'll be right back. All right, everybody, I just finished up at New Comic Book Day at Third Eye Comics in Annapolis, Maryland. What a great New Comic Book Day. Wow, the books that were out this week, fantastic. Great covers, great variants, lots of great stuff. Got a good handful of books here. And I also picked up some of the new comic books that I could not pick up while I was in Roanoke, Virginia for New Comic Book Day last week. So I was able to pick up some of those off of their nearly new Comic Book Day wall, and happy about that as well. So I'll show off those books and as well as all the new comic books I picked up today. Let me get home. I'll bag and board everything, and I'll sit down and I will do a little show and tell. So stay tuned, and I'll be right back.
A little longer than a few minutes later.
All right, everybody, I made it back home. I bagged and boarded all the new comics, so let's just get right into it. The big book of the week for me was the new X-Men book coming out, and I'm hoping that the book is going to be much better than it was previously, but I really don't hold out a lot of hope. But we'll give it a shot. We'll read through this, and we'll do a reset, and we'll go through the motions like we always do, right, guys? But nonetheless, we did have a lot of great covers for the first issue of the new X-Men book. But let's start with the first one I picked up. It's the regular cover, and actually I got this one for free. Being part of the Third Eye Comics Wednesday Warrior Elite, you can see I'm wearing the shirt like I do on most Wednesdays when I go to Third Eye Comics. I'm part of this elite club of 300 people who joined this club several months ago, and one of those benefits is when you go to New Comic Book Day at any Third Eye Comics and you're one of the first 5 people in the door that has their Wednesday Warrior Elite coin, which I always carry with me, it's your membership pass. You get one of the certified cool books of the week, and this is done by the staff, and I want to thank Trish at Third Eye Comics. She actually went and grabbed this for me, but I didn't even have to pick it up off the stand. And this one was actually for free, so I appreciate that. It's one of those little benefits to the Third Eye Comics Wednesday Warrior Elite Club. The other benefit for you guys, if you haven't followed the channel, and I've talked about this before, is you can get into any of the signings that they do at Third Eye Comics where they have a VIP package where you can be the first group to go in to get your book signed. You can all you have to do is let them know that you're going to go to that signing and that you will be put into that VIP group without having to buy that package. Those packages always run about $50 a piece. And by this point, I've already paid for this whole membership, which is a lifetime membership as long as Third Eye Comics is around. And what was great was after this show, they had just put out an e-blast announcing that they're going to have James Tynion come back for his new DC Black Label book. I believe it's Nice House by the Sea. It's a follow-up to Nice House on the Lake, and it's going to be a launch signing that's coming up here at the beginning of August. Now, guys, when this video comes out, it's going to be well past that point because I've already filmed a lot of shows, so I do apologize for the tardiness in this announcement. But I don't do these New Comic Book Day videos to be timely. I do it more as comic book hauls and the kind of things that I pick up. So it's sort of my journaling, my adventure in comics, not so much talking about the new comics and trying to push those for any particular week. But I signed up for the signing with James Tynion. All I had to do was email them and say, hey guys, I want to come. Can you put me on the VIP list? And they know I'm a Wednesday Warrior Elite member. They just put me on the list and I'm good to go. You just have to do it 10 days in advance so they can make sure they get you in there. If you do it any shorter than that, they may have already sold out of all the packages because they only have so many spots for the VIPs to go in. But you had asked, most of the time Third Eye Comics does they're free signings to the public. But the VIP, it costs you extra, and the reason I pay for that extra is it allows you to get in early, and for me, Saturdays are a work day, and I want to be able to get to work on time, so I pay for that package and that privilege to get in there quickly and get out of there quickly. And also, like I said, it gives you an ability to also get more books than the regular public is allowed to sign. So I appreciate that. And again, package is already paid off. This will be at least the third signing now since I've gotten the package that I've done the VIP pass without having to pay additional money for. So that's been fantastic. Anyway, I'm rambling a little bit. Let's move on to the other X-Men books. That's what we were talking about here. I couldn't pass up getting another copy of this right here. I had pre-ordered this cover, the negative space cover of Magic. Who's the artist? I always forget this because he's not on top of my mind. John Christopher Tyler, is that right? Did I get that right? I cannot remember. This is a really nice cover, and that's one that I might have to get signed if I ever see this artist at some point. One that I'm not sure if I pre-ordered or not, but I definitely picked up the Scotty Young cover right there. And how can you go wrong by picking up a J. Scott Campbell Psylocke cover right there? So that's pretty cool. I know that if you go to J. Scott Campbell's website, you can get signed copies of this. I think maybe it's not, I think it's I don't know if it's a Virgin version, but there's another version. I think the regular cover like this is already sold out, but I think he's got more exclusive covers, and it costs a lot. But this is not a cover I necessarily would want J. Scott Campbell to sign. I think there's better things, but this is still a really good cover. All right, so that's it for the X-Men that I picked up this week. And the rest of these things are things that are mostly variants. And when it comes to variants, and I do a pre-order 3 months in advance. And a lot of times a variant is not necessarily, the cover art is not necessarily available for preview. So a lot of times I won't pre-order something until I see it, unless it's an artist like an Art Germ, for example, that I might go ahead and order just in case. But in most of the cases, most of the rest of these books, these are books that were, one, variant covers that I wasn't aware of, or books that just were not on the radar at that time. So let's just get into it. This is a really good cover, Scott Williams cover with a homage to Frank Miller of Daredevil 181. This is the new Daredevil book. This is issue number 11. And of course, Deadpool is super hot right now. We got the movie. When this video is being made, the movie is only a couple weeks away. By the time you see this, the movie will be probably, man, it would be great if it was still in the theaters by the time you see this video, but we'll see how that goes. I hope it is a good movie. I have my reservations just judged on what I'm seeing so far. I mean, the scenes look great, but I hope there's actually a real good story with it as well. I did pick up the variant cover right here. I'm not sure who the artist is on that. For Spider-Man 53. I just said 53, right? Yeah, 53. And Spider-Man is one of those books that's on my pull list at Third Eye Comics, so I don't get it for free, but I do have that in my pull box. And what's nice about having books in your pull box is you get a discount on all your comics. I think it's maybe 10%. I'm not sure about that. But picked up the new Spider-Man. I've got the regular cover pre-ordered, so that's why I didn't pick up the regular cover when I was there. I picked up this variant. Just like Ultimates 2, I think this is Nick Bradshaw cover. I think that's a really cool cover right there. And I've got the regular Ultimates number 2. Regular cover is already pre-ordered, so I didn't pick that up, but I did like that cover. Didn't really like some of the other covers that have come out. The art, honestly, the art's really good on a lot of them, but if it's not significant and it doesn't strike me in some way, it doesn't tickle my fancy, I may not pick it up. This one tickled my fancy. I liked it. It's not necessarily a significant cover, but I just really like the art on that one. I did pick up this. This is Doom, that one shot by Sanford Green, and this is a second printing wraparound cover by Sanford Green, and this has been a fantastic book, and I went ahead and picked up the second printing on that. Knowing how hot this book was this summer, I wonder if it will still have a little bit of heat on this second printing right there. They did have the regular cover version that I saw advertised online as well, and I did not see that there when I was there that day. So I wonder if a lot of people already pre-ordered that and already had that pulled, because I did not see it displayed. All right, let's put these down. And let's move over to a little bit of DC work. This whole month, they're coming out with Jose Luis, let me see if I can get it right, Jose Luis Garcia Lopez covers to a lot of the main DC characters. Last week, we had Batman and Shazam, or Captain Marvel. This week, we've got Green Lantern. I think next week, we've got Superman and maybe The Flash. And I think it will follow up with Wonder Woman. I think that's all the characters that they've got the special covers for. This is Green Lantern. Which issue is this? Actually, here it is. Issue number 13. I'm not following this title. This is 100% cover buy from me. I'm going to try to get every one of these covers and save it for Baltimore Comic Con, and may take that and have Jose sign these when he's come to Baltimore Comic Con this year. These are some really good covers. I'm actually stocking up on some books for him. I mean, he's not getting any younger, and the covers are fantastic. I've actually got some, I think I've got an Action Comics cover and a DC Comics Presents that are really fantastic that I may take to Baltimore Comic Con this year. We'll see how that goes. But I picked that up, and I had to pick this up. This is absolutely gorgeous, and I'm going to butcher the artist's name. It's Pablo Villalobos. I could be destroying that name, but I continue picking up a lot of these books that he's putting out, these alternate variant covers for DC. Just absolutely stunning, beautiful women covers. He's been doing, I know he did a Birds of Prey one a while back. That was fantastic. And for me, you guys can let me know, I think it has a very Adam Hughes quality to it. And that's not taken away from Adam Hughes or anything, but I really like these covers. Very pretty, very pretty. And I did pick up this. This is a reprint and a new printing of Death in the Family, Robin Lives. Now, that's Robin Lives, so I guess it's the alternate ending that we never got back in the day when they decided to kill off Robin. But I decided to get the cover by Mike Mignola. Of course, Mike Mignola was the cover artist on those 4 issues back in the day. And this right here is pretty cool to see some new Mike Mignola art. All right, that was it for DC this week. A lot of good books this week. Normally I don't have, if you've been following me at all, you know that back earlier this year, I forgot to put in my pre-order with MNMcomics.com. And that cost me over the course of about a month and a half of having to go to New Comic Book Day and picking up everything that I failed to pre-order. And that was a lot of work. Every week I had to be down there and double check my list, see what I didn't order and everything. These days, the way this works, and I talked about it earlier, New Comic Book Day is for me to catch things that I failed to pre-order. Basically, failed to, I just weren't not on the radar like some of these independents right here, or some of these variant covers here. But normally I don't have this many books in a New Comic Book Day video, but a lot of great books this week, a lot of great covers. This was a great cover. It's one of the variants to Gun Honey Collision Course. I think this is number 3, yeah, from Titan. I only picked this up because, I mean, I'm enjoying reading the book and everything, but this cover right here, the outfit, the way she's wearing it, everything about it struck me. It was very much like a Natasha Romanoff Black Widow pose and everything about that. And it's like, that would have been a great cover for the Black Widow series, just with Natasha, of course. I did pick this up. The one book that obviously was not on my radar, but when New Comic Book Day was coming out and I'm looking at everything, I'm going, this right here sounds intriguing, the storyline. It's Kill All Immortals, and if I'm not mistaken, it has to do with Eric the Red. Am I got wrong on that? It's the Vikings, and they were immortal, and they're killing each other, so it has a little bit of that Highlander feel to it. It sounded intriguing, big family drama, and I think they're trying to kill each other. So I'm going to enjoy reading this. I've already thumbed through it before I even pulled out of the parking lot. I already kind of thumbed through this, and it seems like that's going to be a pretty good read. So this is a book I'm going to keep with. I want to see where they go with this one. And I definitely picked up this. This is Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 40th Anniversary Comic Celebration. And IDW, about the only property they've got really left that has any value. It looks like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. And man, they're pumping out the stuff there. And some of these books, especially when you got a Laird and Eastman cover right there, definitely pick that up. I did pick up issue number 4 of Geiger. And I got to admit, I'm not a fan as much of this book as I am the other Ghost Machine books. The main ones, Redcoat, and what's the other one? Oh my God, what's the other one? I'm completely blanking. There's 3 that came out, and I'm sitting here and I'm going, I cannot remember what the third one was. I'm such a fan, right? But Geiger, I don't know. I don't like necessarily the storyline exactly. I like the character. But I don't know. Is there something about this post-apocalyptic world that I don't know. Have I seen it too much? I love the character. But the artwork is fantastic. This stuff is just absolutely gorgeous. And it was Rook, by the way. It was Rook. Jason Fabok, Rook. I'm enjoying that. But I contemplated dropping the Ghost Machine books, even though I like them a lot. Only because I've got so many books, and I'm such a Marvel guy that I considered dropping them, but there I am on New Comic Book Day, and it's like, nah, go ahead and pick the book back up. So I'm probably going to continue with at least all 3 of these Ghost Machine books. They've got a new one coming out that by the time this video comes out, they've already launched a new title, and I can't remember what that is, but I will give that a shot with at least the first issue. But this artwork is just absolutely stunning. Gary Frank, man, I tell you, that is some fantastic artwork. I think he just gets better over time. All right, so that was it. I take it back. It was almost it. I got one more Marvel book, and I saved it for the end because it feeds into the last books I picked up for this New Comic Book Day. I did pick up the new issue number 3 of Get Fury. This is a Garth Ennis book, and I kind of just let this one slip under the radar, and then I decided, you know what? Let's give this a shot. It is Garth Ennis. He's a great writer, and knowing that I picked up issue number 3, I decided, why not? Let's go back and pick up issues number 1. Although I did have to pick up a variant copy that was still in the stands, and I picked up issue number 2, and it's basically, I want to say it's a story of Frank Castle trying to rescue Fury from in Vietnam. That's about as much as I know, but giving it a shot, it's one of those, I'm taking a shot on it. Let's see how this goes. And since they still had issues 1 and 2 out on the almost new comic book stand, I went ahead and picked those up. And then the last book that I picked up for this week was a book that was on my radar in my previous New Comic Book Day video while I was down in Roanoke, Virginia, and I couldn't find it. And one of the things I talked about, guys, was I love the stores down in Roanoke and on the road, but I don't think anybody buys as many comics and extra copies of comics than Third Eye. I mean, when you go to Third Eye, they have on most books at least an inch thick on the stand of that new comic book. And they still have more books that they could literally put out. And what I found on a lot of other stores is they just don't have the audience to be able to buy in bulk that much. So they don't have additional copies sometimes. And I'm not there right there as the store's opening because I'm on the road, I'm on vacation. And I stopped in at Roanoke, and both stores that I stopped in, they did not have this right here. It is Space Ghost number 3, the Michael Cho cover. And I'm really getting into Space Ghost with the Michael Cho covers because I'm saving them all up, and I'm going to take them to Baltimore Comic Con because he is going to be at the Baltimore Comic Con as well this year. So really great covers. And I was glad when I went to Third Eye a week later that they still had this on the almost new comic book wall as well. They only had one copy of that, so I'm glad I got in and got that one copy that I needed to get it signed. But guys, that's it. Quick, well, was it quick? I don't think it was quick. Quick comic book video, new comic book day. Again, for me, these are more about comic book hauls. You'll have to let me know which books you like the most. What books did you pick up on this particular new comic book day? Were there any books in this that you picked up? And what are you excited about for these books right here? I'm looking forward to reading these, especially that Kill All Immortals. I think that has some... It seems very interesting to me. You guys will just have to let me know. Just leave me a comment in the comment section below. But guys, that is it. Thank you for joining me today. If you enjoy this kind of content, definitely hit that like button, slap the subscribe, and click on that notification bell so you don't miss out on any of the content that I put out each and every week now at 3 p.m. That's a result of my work hours changing. I will not be able to be doing 10 a.m. shows anymore. I'll be sound asleep because we're going to be working until 6 in the morning now. So I'm going to be doing shows live. I'll still be doing the live chats, but I'll just be doing them later in the day. I'm going to be doing them at 3 p.m. and we'll see how that goes. So thanks, guys. Have a great day, and I will see you for the next show. Just remember, every comic has a story.